Hi, my name is Sam Hankins, and I want to thank you for listening to my music on Variety Talk. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. We're back. Welcome back to the show. And let's just pick right up where we left off in terms of the tips. I see you got your little piece of paper there, your cheat notes, and I love them. So I'm going to just kind of let you roll with it because all I do is just kind of sit back in the chair and let you go. And I really would like to learn more about how to deal. I've been in Vegas for 2 years, and what I've noticed is that as we go further into the fall season, your skin gets really dry, and I had no idea. But the weather was just so extreme, and so you got to get like the extra moisturizer to keep your skin because it's always windy, and we're in the desert, so that's
Dry and
it's dry.
windy at the same
But not this isn't just localized to Las Vegas. Across the country, people are getting prepared to, with their winter coats and getting prepared for winter. So, at the same time, you've got people turning the heat up really high in their homes, and it becomes very dry for them as well. Back in the Midwest and the East Coast. So, what do we do?
Basically, I've never really been to many places, but here we usually use moisturizer basically for our hair because it's mostly conditioner, good conditioner. I like Paul Mitchell personally.
Okay.
Because every time I've used it for any nationality, it's amazing.
Okay.
When I use
And
that,
that's important too. Excuse me for interrupting you. I just said I'm going to let you take off, and then here I go. But for the audience, I really want them to get this because we have everybody. We've got all ages, we've got all genders, we've got all ethnicities. You mentioned, for this particular ethnicity. So you do all genders, all ethnicities.
I do
in terms of
yes.
being able to do hair for anyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Go right ahead.
So usually, for one, most people fail to realize that they need to cut their ends every 6 to 8 weeks. If you don't, in the windy city, like it's not windy here, but it is at most times because when it get cold, it's really horrible because we're not used to it. So when it goes into all that, you have to when it's windy outside and you don't have on a weave or have on a hat.
Okay.
A lot of times the wind will take your hair comes off. Like at the ends, I think it's more of the broken ends kind of thing that you'll lose strands while the wind is blowing.
Oh, wow.
And if you're not moisturized, your ends are not cut, a lot of the damaged hair will leave you.
Okay.
Slowly but surely.
Okay.
That's all. It ain't all at once, but it will.
And you're not a native either, right?
Born and raised.
Oh, you are born and raised.
Love it.
So then you have number one first account of what takes place with this hair situation.
Yeah, but a
Okay.
lot of times I wear weaves.
Okay.
It just prevents. I like to wake up like this. I like to go to sleep like this.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into that too in terms of weaves, extensions, whatever you want to call them, whatever anybody calls them. Everybody wears everything nowadays.
Yes.
Wigs, weaves, and we'll talk a little bit more as we go forward about the features and benefits of African American women, our hair, Caucasian women, because there is, come on, we've got differences going on here in regard to that. So we, women of color do different things for their hair versus women who are not of color.
They do.
And so there's a little separation in regards to, and I don't like to use the word separation, but there are differences in terms of how we do with our hair.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people can't run their hands through our hair.
Yeah.
Things that you might could do with somebody else. You touch my hair, ooh.
Right? I guess a lot of people don't know about that either. I think it's becoming more popular. Don't touch an African woman's hair.
Please don't. It don't come out good.
But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. Go ahead. Where were you with this?
Well, what I did, I kind of That
So,
was the
so what
first.
you're saying is looking out for breakage, making sure that as we go forward that we wear a cap and we keep it
Protect it.
moisturized. And you're
Yes.
suggesting Paul Mitchell
I love it.
because it helps to keep the ends more moisturized.
Yes, it do.
Okay, now what I think is really exciting is that African American women are going more back to their natural hair. I think it's exciting because people are wearing, and then you got people of all races doing all kinds of things with hair.
Yeah.
In other words, you see African American women wearing afros again,
Yeah.
but you see Caucasian people wearing braids,
Yeah.
which you would have
did
never
them.
seen
Yeah.
10 years ago, or whatever. So everybody's kind of blending. It's a really nice mix. But I love the fact that women are going back to the natural look. I love that. And so, are you one who helps us to nurture and condition, our hair to make sure that whatever style we wear it in, we make sure we keep it healthy?
Right. Most people, they think when you just let your hair breathe and out and how do you explain? They think that's natural. That is natural, but at the same time, they end up going back because they're not used to that look.
I
That
saw
look-
you make that face. I
That
was
look
like, no
is
way.
not like corporate. It's not really.
Well,
too
oh
much.
man, we're gonna have to have a whole show on that one
Like,
because
you
there's
know,
so much.
So it depends on what you do for a job. A lot of them don't like you to wear braids. A lot of them, they don't like that ethnic look.
Mm.
And women have to figure out whatever job you're doing or do, you gotta make sure that your hair go out to that. Like a lot of people can't wear a weave because if you're making beds all day like a housekeeper, a weave, you most time gonna have to put it up. And the more you put it up, the more your hair keeps going up and you have breakage in the back. And they're not realizing that, like, yeah, the weaves are good and they only good for 3 months, maybe. Depends on who do it. But once, you can't keep that in forever. You have to eventually go into something else to keep your natural look. I talk all my clients out of perms. Because the perm is very strenuous on the hair. And because it's like, it takes the hair through all that breakage, I just prefer them not to have a perm because when you go to put one on, most of the time it feels weighed down. Yeah, you can shampoo it as many times. I shampoo 4 times just to make sure I have all it out. And when I go to comb it, it's thinner than anything. So I prefer to have their own hair. I prefer natural, but most people basically can't deal with it as long as you expect them to.
And that's an entirely different subject matter because there's a lot of controversy around what is acceptable in corporate America, what is not.
Yeah.
I thought until hearing you say this that we as a race, as an African American race, have progressed to feeling more comfortable with wearing our hair however we wanted to wear it within corporate America. But what you're saying is that your clients are coming in and they're still concerned about wearing their natural hair because of the concern with corporate. Is it the same with braids?
Same with braids, most of them. Individuals, not that bad because it still look like, if they don't look too close, it look like flat hair. Usually all the extra stuff where they're putting all the beadings and different things on it, keeping it ethnic, but at the same time, it look like, they're coming from Africa, and I'm not against that, but, it's a place and time for everything.
Oh man, well we're gonna have to really have a conversation about that because that's interesting that you say that. That's so interesting, and I just didn't even think that we were still there. Isn't that interesting? But you do hair every single day, and this is what you deal with.
Yeah.
We have to do a whole show on that. But right now, we got to take another station break. So, everybody, you're watching WCOBM. This is Variety Talk Live in Las Vegas. I am your host, Linda Leak, and we're talking hair today. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the association of hairstyles and dress as we begin to approach the seasons and you know what goes with what. Everybody's kind of trying to figure out what to start purchasing as they go forward towards the holiday parties and all of that we will be getting into within. I mean, this is mid-October. We're about to stumble right into November, and we're right there. So anyway, we'll be back in a moment.